Yeah, I felt like I had to do a Christmas themed video. Hi and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I mainly talk about reading and books. And if you're not new here, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to talk about literature that I associate with Christmas, and also some of our Scandinavian Christmas literature traditions. And the lack of. And that's where we're going to kick this one off, because books and reading isn't something I used to do a whole lot during Christmas before. Things have changed, of course, but what I did as a kid was sit in front of the TV and watch Disney clips of Christmas movies on repeat. And then we have this tradition in Norway where we watch this Czech movie from the 70s of 3 Wishes for Cinderella, where all the voices are dubbed by an old Norwegian man. Which makes it all quite fun. Just to be clear, we don't dub everything. We're not Germany. That probably makes it more fun. For us. No one else. Obviously we have some written treasures as well, but I thought I'd start out talking a little bit about trends. Because there's one kind of book that's more in my Instagram feed this year than it was last year. And that is what I've learned is called Christmas Chicklet. And to me this just seems like a new way to collect some extra money. These are romance novels, they have red spines, they have maybe, let's say, 24 chapters. You're supposed to read 1 chapter a day. I doubt that any of these have a especially grim ending to them. There's a high probability of me being just a little bit too grumpy, but do we really need more romance novels based on Christmas? After reading the description on the back of some of these, it doesn't seem like they add a whole lot. So to me, they're just cash cows. They're a product that we don't need, but I do understand that the product is there because I know people that would love to read these novels in Christmas. And if people want to read these novels in Christmas, I guess that's a win. The second thing I thought of is a category I'd like to call Graphic Christmas. It's a category where you have Christmas tales with a whole lot of pictures, or you have a reissue of a famous novel with more pictures. This phenomenon is really apparent this year, where we have a newly published edition of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's translated by Alan Lu, and Lisa Aisato has made the illustrations. The latter one is hugely popular here in Norway, and she makes beautiful drawings and paintings, and I think she is the main driver behind this trend. If it's a trend, we'll see, but it's at least very popular in these days. This edition I don't know about. Some have complained about the language, but the drawings and paintings are gorgeous, so that's probably why you want to read that novel. If not, you can just read the original one or another translation. And in the same format and by the same illustrator, we also have The Snow Sisters. This is written by Maja Lunde, and it's translated to a whole lot of countries, but I do not know if it's published in English. But this one I think will become a modern Christmas classic. It was published in 2018, and this one we got in 2020, and it's already in its 8th print. It's a children's novel, and we meet Julian. He lost his sister last year, and he sort of thinks that Christmas is cancelled. I haven't yet read this one, but this Christmas I will. I hope. I do really love her illustrations, and I think that this will be a happy, sad, and enjoyable read. I don't know if the thing with graphic novels is something that's coming more and more outside of this country, but I sort of do like it. It makes physical books seem more important, I guess. At least it's not the same reading a graphic novel on your Kindle. The next segment in this video I would like to call a depressing Scandinavian Christmas. Our little corner of the world is said to be quite happy, but you wouldn't have guessed that if you read the books we write. And the Christmas editions aren't any different. I thought I'd start off with talking about Karen's Christmas, or Karen's Jul by Amalie Skram. Amalie Skram is a famous Norwegian author. She's truly one of our classic authors, but she writes really depressing things. And this Christmas tale ain't no different. It's about Karen. She is a young single mother. She's carrying around her child in Oslo on Christmas Eve, I think. It's very cold outside. She can't really find anywhere to go. And spoiler, it doesn't end well. This is a short story, and it's one of those that you have to read several times during your time at school in Norway. I actually read it last year because I also talked a little bit about Christmas books in my last year's video, and my eyes still teared up. I'll see if I could find links to it, and if I do, I'll put it down below. I think I found a link for it last year. The next short story is from a Danish author called Hans Christian Andersen, and it's called The Little Match Girl. This may be a little more known short story than the other one. Hans Christian Andersen is one of the biggest names in Scandinavian literature, I would say, famous for his fairy tales, including The Little Mermaid. This story is technically set on New Year's Eve, but I find it to fit well in the Christmas category. And it's about this poor girl going through the streets of Paris trying to sell matches. She doesn't really succeed, and I believe she sees her dead mother in one of those matches, and she doesn't want to lose her mother again, so she burns all her matches. I don't know what to say other than that I hope that the book Snow Sisters is a bit more cheerful than this. But I'll see if I can find this one as well and put the link down below if I do. The next segment is surely more joyful and less Christmassy, and it's Christmas comic books. I do not know if this is a tradition outside of Norway, but this is a tradition going back to the 1800s as well, where you have Christmas themed comic books. And they aren't that Christmassy. Some would say that only the front page is the Christmas themed one. And not. But it says Christmas and the year, so that's something. Other than that, I do not know. But this I find to be a great tradition because it makes people read more. And it's something I reflected more over last year, because I've never really viewed comic books as reading until I started YouTubing. But it makes so much sense, and the brilliant people I know all read comic books when they were small. I wasn't planning on talking about a specific comic book, but I thought I'd mention this one, and it's called Hagar the Horrible. It's written by an American called Dick Brown, and it's about this Viking and his strict wife. And he goes on robbing people and countries and getting yelled at when he comes home. Doesn't seem like that much fun, but I find it to be. So that's probably the one I'm going to buy this year as well. This is also the way I'm going to indoctrinate my children into reading. So this was this year's Christmassy video, obviously. I hope I get a new Christmas sweater next year, because this one is a bit too much. I do not feel comfortable sitting here in this one. But that being said, in a couple of days I'm going to do a live stream again here on YouTube. It's going to happen on the 28th of December at 8 o'clock GMT plus 1, I think. I will make a separate post on my post section on YouTube, and you'll get notified there as well if you have turned on notifications. I thought I'd spend the time talking about the year that has passed, maybe some books, maybe some videos. I think a lot about YouTube and my videos, so I thought I'd share a little bit about my feelings around my videos with you. Which were my favorites, which did I enjoy making, which did I hate making, because that also happens. Also, I'm trying to decide on my reading goals for next year, so maybe you'll come on my live stream and discuss that with me, because I surely need help. And I have a lot of thoughts around the topic of reading goals, and I just can't decide on my own. So now you know there's going to be a live stream unless something really terrible happens, and you'll decide if I wear this sweater or my regular green one that I always wear. You can comment below and I'll give the majority the vote. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a very happy holiday season, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!